I think the way how insurance products are distributed won't change in a very massive way. Especially this niche product, vintage car insurance, needs to be explained to the customer. What are the difference to normal car insurance? I have to question back, because do you think in AI agents or in AI assistants? I think there is a big difference between the two parts of technology. If you think of voice assistants, which are take up incoming calls, doing transcript and so on, it may be very helpful to think about how to improve workflows, how to improve customer support, or make it available 24/7. I think there is a lot of possibilities.
Hello, and welcome to the Insurance Distribution Podcast. I have the pleasure to be today with Tobias Haff. Tobias, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I'm excited to be talking with you today. So let's start, as I say, with the beginning. You are an insurance leader for a while. You've been an entrepreneur. You worked in multiple companies related to insurance. So I'd like to understand more about your background, how you started this journey in the insurance industry, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you very much, Martin, having me here. And of course, some words about me. Yes, how to characterize me? I would say I'm a tech nerd, always loving working with computers, internet, and all these fancy things. I'm customer relationship management enthusiast and I'm loving sales. And all this put together brought me to a couple of nice projects I could support over the last, I think about 20 years. And yes, that's the thing, what pushed me forward.
So currently you're the head of sales at OCC.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your role and what does OCC exactly do?
The company was founded in 1984. Founders were car enthusiasts and found a gap in the car insurance coverage regarding their own vintage cars. The comprehensive part was focused only on the time value, not the market value. These market values are much more higher. Many cases. There was a need for an insurance product fitting in this point. That was the starting of OCC. They sold the first policies, and also for past 4 decades, company came into its existence with nowadays 120 people working there. And we are market leader in Germany, providing vintage car insurance policies. And my role there is I'm head of sales, as you have mentioned. I'm responsible for all sales activities regarding face-to-face business, working together with insurance brokers, insurance agents, and all the people going to end customers, doing their advisory work and looking to have great possibilities to get vintage cars insured.
Awesome. I understand a lot of your day on the road, visiting different brokers, trying to push the distribution of the OCC insurance policies that you have in the products. But let's dive a little bit into the KPIs. Which is your key performance indicator, if you would like to highlight one that you are measured and that you can see progress? And also, which metrics do you also take a look on your day-to-day or week-to-week basis so that you can understand that you're progressing in a good way?
Yeah, as we are an MGA and our core business is to put forward our premium volume, my main KPI, of course, is not such very sophisticated. I'm always looking on our premium volume we have. That's the KPI I look every day. Possible, I'd like to see it in real time, but due to workflows, etc., every day updated is enough. And of course, there are many others we are looking for, I look for, because sales broker activities, how is the usage of our extranet brokers can use, of course, damages and so on, all these things we have to look for because of quality management and having in mind that bite ratio should be far below 100%, which is essential for our business. And there is a couple of KPIs I'm very data-driven. I like data-driven sales. Therefore, I always dig for new KPIs in our data warehouse and always think about how to find new ones which help us to better understand how we can support our brokers and direct the business in the right way.
So let's put the perspective. You mentioned vintage car insurance leader in Germany. It's a quite niched kind of insurance. Then you can tell me a little bit about the market. But would like to understand which are your key distribution channels. You've been naming the brokers, but can you tell me what the picture looks like the percentage of the brokers? Are there other channels that you use to distribute this product?
Yeah, of course. Yes, it's a niche market, as you have said. Around about 5% or 6% of the cars driving around Germany are old enough or are vintage enough to be part of our portfolio. You have to differentiate between old cars which are just driving and our old ones, and these ones which are really loved by their owners and therefore are fitting. 3, 5, 4% of the cars having in mind as a target group on very many enough to build a very good working business on it. But you have to look for them, doing a lot of analysis. Therefore, brokers and advisors are the main distribution channel because they know their customers. They know how cars are used, if they're loved ones, if they're just old used ones, and they can drive the customer in the right way and bring us these pieces of the business which are really good for our portfolio. On the other hand, we always were active in the classic search engine market, looking for direct customer or direct business, but as it is a niche market, it's really narrow market and it's hard to boost sales or scale up sales here because search engine marketing, Google Ads, and all this search engine optimization fastly comes into an end in means of scalability.
So would we be able to say that 90+% of your sales are coming from the broker channel, or what would the picture look like?
It's a bigger part, which is from direct sales. It's around about a third of the business.
Oh, okay.
But it's steadily decreasing. The number of policies we get over the broker channels is increasing instead of it because there are at the moment some market trends which support also the broker business. But we always try to get business over the direct channels. And there's another thing. We digitalized our broker business within the last year. So it's a part which is really administrated on a digital way, either on some ways the end customer uses or the platform our brokers can use is more growing, and more of the business is administrated on a digital platform basis.
And given that the brokers have been growing in the distribution percentage, as you mentioned in OCC, on tying up with one of the things that you mentioned, that you try to be in the sales department very data driven, you have your KPIs, you try to push data driven decisions. How does this match with the brokers? In my experience, the brokers are not the most tech savvy or data driven people. They know the customer and they operate with that on their mind. Is this a reflection of what happens in OCC? Have you have good times making them be data-driven, or you have challenges in that regard?
At this point, it's very important that we are data-driven and we can apply our experience, our insights in our daily business and use it to administrate the broker business. It's very important for us as we are only a small part of the business for every of our brokers. There are only handful of experts that are really focused on vintage car business or premium cars, some exotic other car types. But for it's a real aggregation business. We are collecting pieces from all over the market. The portfolio each broker has in an average with us is small. And therefore, it's our need and our approach to analyze, to get this data, in or with respect how to act and what's the next best action in the view for the next broker we have to talk about, and use this for all decisions in marketing and broker support.
Gotcha. And the way you approach these brokers is a traditional events, referrals from other brokers, or is there any way you have been able to unlock relationship with brokers that is not kind of the traditional one-to-one relationship?
We're trying to use social media as good as we can, but it's not the number one way. You can get visibility there. It works very good with broker groups or pools, multiplicators, which are aggregating business as well. And there is an attention for social media activities. But as you have said, the most part is talking, phoning, meeting at events, and trying to get a good relationship. The kind of B2B customer relationship management we have to apply. And as we have to build up trust in our products, in our services, or there's no other way besides talking to the people, getting a personal relationship, doing this every day and year over year.
You mentioned that OCC is 40 years old. It was born in 1984. In 10 years, it will be 50. Would you consider the distribution channels that are currently leading OCC product would remain pretty similar in terms of distribution, or what would you be able to anticipate that will change, if there's anything that will change?
I think the way how insurance products are distributed won't change in a very massive way, because especially this niche product, vintage car insurance, needs to be explained to the customer. What are the difference to normal car insurance? Why is the difference in the comprehensive? That are just nuances within the product. It's a small part of terms and conditions which is different to the normal car insurance policy, but that makes a real big difference for the customer in case of accident. And to get this information brought to the customer and get it noted and brought to the market is something you can't do very well on online channels or other things. I started 20 years ago as a predecessor of Check24. Nowadays, there was a prediction that insurance policies mostly will be sold over online channels or the internet within the next 5 to 10 years. 20 years later, and the insurance broker or the agent of the insurance company always or still has the biggest part in the business. Of course, there are many ways to use the web as distribution channel, as a platform to sell products easier, faster, better. But I think in 10 years, we have the same way at OCC and then the market. There may be shifts, but not that big that we really remark it. And this business part of business, which needs explanation, still will be there. And therefore, I think that face-to-face communication will be a very, very important part, especially in our distribution channels.
Gotcha. And let me dive into a topic that I know you follow quite along, and that you actually do your efforts to share your opinion, especially over LinkedIn, which is around AI and specifically AI agents. I know you like this topic. So how do you think, when talking about brokers, that AI agents, right, the ability for AI to take end-to-end action, will evolve their day-to-day in different tasks that they currently do?
I have to question back, because do you think in AI agents or in AI assistants? I think there is a pretty great, a big difference between the two parts of technology.
Absolutely. Take the question as you like.
Okay.
An AI agent, I was thinking about, well, this marketing way of putting AI, right? That they can execute end-to-end actions. But if you like to put it as assistants, that is fine too.
Yeah. Then I would say like this. I think that an agent which doing business on an autonomous way, don't having some controlled instance, deciding for its own, developing ideas, getting an interaction. I don't think that's real. I know it's the marketing AI buzzword 2025. I think some companies are very eager to push this forward because they invested a lot of money there, and it's really great and a quite interesting idea. But I don't think that, especially in sales, where we have this interaction from human to human, is a very necessary part. Will take place in such many ways. On the other hand, I think that assistants are very helpful and will boost sales activities. If you think of voice assistants, which are take up incoming calls, doing transcripts and so on, it may be very helpful to think about how to improve workflows, how to improve customer support, or make it available 24/7. I think there is a lot of possibilities to put this in place, making especially smaller companies, smaller units, single brokers very competitive at this point, and will assist in many other ways, having business done, getting in contact and so on. But at this point, I would prefer, or I assume that these are workflows which are initiated by a human, controlled by a human, and there is many interaction, but on a way that these are very helpful, maybe very intelligent tools that can scale up sales activities in a way we hadn't in the last 10 or 15 years.
Tobias, and how do you think the broker channel that you have mentioned as being one of the most relevant one sees AI in this regard? You mentioned your own vision as a head of sales of an MGA that works with the brokers. How do you think the brokers do see this technology? Are they using it? Have you seen it in practice, or are they far away from it?
I think you have to have a very differentiated view on this because, especially in Germany, we have this generation topic. A lot of brokers are short before retirement, having followed a couple of waves of new technology. I think if it's, or if there are very useful, easy to use tools, they get adapted. I don't think that there is a very big need for many to do this really because the way to retirement is defined. I think in other European markets with other structures of the sales distribution channels, maybe higher grade of adaptation. But overall, there is a lot of interest in using it. I think all the topics are around liability, data protection and so on, we are discussing all over the European Union for many years now. Having this in mind will not really accelerate adoption. Therefore, I think there is a good market, and I think also many will adapt it. I don't think it's like some want to have it or want to see it that is a rocket market and everything is going to the moon and everybody will use 50 AI assistants within the next 2 weeks or something like this. I think this has to be integrated in the own workflows very carefully, and you have to build up trust to this new technology. That's the main topic here. But overall, I'm very optimistic.
That's awesome. And to start closing the conversation, let's say OCC now wants to expand beyond Germany, which it might, and you tell me if it already expanded beyond Germany. What would you see as the main challenges to pursue this international expansion? Let's consider the audience, it's international, it's different carriers, multiple MGAs, insurtechs that are working cross-border. So what would you say are the key things that you would need to overcome to make this a success overseas?
As we have already business in Austria and we had it in Switzerland, the main hurdles to expand in other European countries is language, is kind of different situation in law because every country retains some specialties that makes it really difficult. And some very interesting thing is how to handle claims, because in our business where there's no standardization, there are very specialized mechanics which can do the repair, and you need parts, and you have a big variety within the cars. It's really hard to build up claims management in the single countries, bringing in all this experience you have already collected in one market, because they are all completely different, and you cannot just take the experience to another country like in another standardized business. If you're selling home insurance or something like this, or normal car insurance, where cars are all the same over Europe, you know how repair prices are, where to bring it to a garage, and then it's very hard to bring this niche product to other countries.
Tobias, thanks a lot for this time. We talked through a lot of different topics. We started with, well, the OCC customer archetype. We went through channels, distribution, the broker, how you're currently leading with that, KPIs, AI, and then internationalization. So thanks a lot for bringing all this knowledge with us. And I hope the audience enjoyed this podcast as I did.
Thank you very much. I hope the same. And again, thank you very much for having me here. And at this point, hopefully the audience gets some insights and can push forward in having great sales experiences.
Awesome. Any city in Germany that you would recommend us visiting, like as a final note? Which one is your favorite?
My favorite city, I really love Munich. That's not because I'm living nearby it, but it's a really great city. I also love Hamburg and Berlin. These three are really great cities to visit, all with their own character and very different.
Absolutely. Okay, Tobias, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Take care.